Iran's effective closure of the Strait of Hormuz is creating clear winners and losers across the Gulf, according to a Reuters analysis. Countries like Iran, Oman and Saudi Arabia are benefiting from higher oil prices and alternative export routes, boosting their revenues. In contrast, Iraq, Kuwait and Qatar are facing heavy losses as much of their oil and gas exports remain dependent on the choke point. The divide is largely driven by geography and infrastructure. While Iran controls the strategic passage, nations like Saudi Arabia and the UAE can bypass it through pipelines and ports, leaving others exposed to severe supply disruptions and mounting financial losses. Here's a detailed look at the Reuters analysis.
Iran's effective closure of the Strait of Hormuz has created both winners and losers across the Gulf. Reuters analysis shows Iran, Oman and Saudi Arabia are benefiting from the surging prices and alternative export routes, while Iraq, Kuwait and Qatar are losing billions as their shipments are choked. The divide comes down to geography and infrastructure. Iran controls the choke point. Saudi Arabia, the UAE and Oman can bypass it via pipelines and ports. Iraq, Kuwait and much of Qatar's oil and gas cannot. Benchmark Brent crude was up about 60% in March. That was as the war entered its second month. For Saudi Arabia, higher prices mean increased royalties and taxes from state oil giant Aramco. It's overwhelmingly owned by the government and its sovereign wealth fund. Aramco declined to comment when asked about Reuters' calculations. Representatives for the other countries or their oil companies did not immediately respond to requests for comment. The kingdom's biggest pipeline is the 746-mile east-west link. It connects eastern oil fields to the Red Sea port of Yanbu. But experts warn the advantage is vulnerable to further strikes by Iran or Yemen's Houthis. Iraq and Kuwait were hit hardest, with estimated monthly revenues down by about 3/4 versus a year earlier. Qatar's liquefied natural gas is also trapped, helping push global gas markets higher. Buyers using bypass routes face soaring freight rates and war risk premiums, piling costs onto crude. For the longer term, however, the impact is unclear. Some oil companies and politicians in the West have lobbied for increased investment in fossil fuels to try to protect against supply shocks. But some analysts say renewable energy provides the best protection.